What?
Yo, yo, yo. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's the worst day of the week. Nah, man. Sorry for the late start. Uh
Like,
yeah, life. But y'all already know the protocol. No videos come down. And
who's the deadbeat is not liable for any litigation to follow thereafter your interview. So keep in mind to keep it clean. But again, it's your story, your truth. So tell it how you want to.
all right, we finna
Let's get started.
get right in. All right. All right.
We have a guest waiting, Mr. Ray G.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Hello.
what's going on?
It's good to see you guys again.
Good to see you again. You have an update for us?
I do. I do have an update. Last time I was on in October. I believe it was
Okay.
October. And for the most part, we kind of wrote our own schedule. We were going by that. And then she filed child support on me, without me knowing. Um, I
Hold on,
was
hold
never.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Before we get into it, we gotta
You got to
just
ask
tell
me.
just tell the people where you from.
Okay, I'm from Beaumont, California.
Okay.
It's out here in SoCal. I'm about 45 minutes away from LA.
Okay.
And then
I'm
this
in.
your baby girl that was being alienated,
She
correct?
was, yeah, she was, she
Okay.
was, she
All
was.
Okay.
right. Now give us the update.
So, like I said, we were kind of going off our schedule that me and her mom agreed to, and then she went and filed child support on me. Um, and I filled out the paperwork. I never heard anything else about it. Never got a phone call, never got mail, I never got served. And there was a whole hearing May 27th. Without my knowledge, I wasn't there. And of course, she won.
By
And
default.
by default, I wasn't there. I wasn't notified. Again, I never saw the paper. I had no idea this was going on. I of course lost. The amount was so ridiculous. It was 1,027 a month. I'm a school teacher. I'm a public school teacher in California. There's no way I could afford that. So what I did was I went and filed an emergency hearing, to establish 50-50 custody. And then as I was doing that, her mom threatened to move her away, through text message. I believe I sent it to you. She found out, that I'm living with a new girlfriend now, and just immediately got upset, and she threatened to move her away. I printed a screenshot. I put it in with the paperwork, and the temporary orders were granted. So we now have 50-50 custody. She cannot move my daughter out of the state. She can't leave the state. She's had to turn in any passports, anything like that. And again, we now have joint 50-50 custody. Mediation is on July 24th, and then we actually go back to court on August 14th.
Okay.
So
So go ahead.
So, to take a step back, then you guys purchase a home together?
we still have the home together.
Okay.
She's been hassling me to move and to sell it, and I'm not going to. I pay for the house. I've paid. The down payment came from a sale of a house that I had purchased solely in
Hmm.
my name. I've been paying the bills. I pay the maintenance. I pay the upkeep, and I'm just at this point. I'm just refusing to sell it at this point until
Okay. I know
until
when we spoke about it previously, it wasn't feasible, but due to the circumstances of you guys not getting along and her being co-owner of the property, it was something that was being considered. Now your new girlfriend is living there
Mhm.
and she's pissed about the fact that she knows for sure that she's residing in a home with you.
Yeah, and it's not even like she's fully living there. She stays a night or two. It's not even
Mhm.
that she's fully there. It's, hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to stay the night. It's really just that, and that really has set her off.
Mm, mm, mm.
So with the temporary orders in place,
Hmm.
How do you think it's gonna go in mediation? What are you expecting, or like, how what do you think is gonna happen?
You know, I kind of understand who I'm dealing with now at this point.
Hmm.
She's very hurt, she's very broken. She's
Bitter.
she's extremely bitter. She's extremely jealous of the relationship that I have with my daughter because she didn't have a great relationship with her dad. And I'm sure when she sees that, it may hurt her, it may upset her. So knowing that, I know the gloves are gonna come off. I know she's gonna try to hit below the belt, but
The gloves
I
are already off,
Yeah.
according to
definitely, I
the
would say so.
story
Yeah,
that you gave previously, and so yeah,
yeah.
we don't
I
see
I
any.
would I would definitely agree. So I expect her to pull out, everything. I expect her to bring screenshots. I expect her to try to do everything possible to not allow me to get 50-50 custody.
So
But
what screenshots would she have?
I would think the same screenshots that she brought to court the first time, maybe that
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Cause she tried to hit you. She tried the silver bullets tactic to get the protective order first,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. You
And
remember.
so
Yes, you
she's
remember.
already been playing dirty from the
So
start.
I would assume it's that stuff, but I definitely don't engage with her. With in the screenshot, she called me trash. I didn't even respond. It makes no sense to really stoop down to someone's level like that. And I'm not gonna yell, I'm not gonna scream, I'm not gonna curse, and I'm especially not gonna do it in front of our daughter. So I think no response is really the best response.
The
Yes.
And
only
then
That's the only
response. That's the
response.
only response with a high
it's the best
conflict
way.
situation.
It's the best way, and when there's no feelings involved, it's a lot easier. I think when two people are arguing, it kind of shows, hey, there might still be feelings involved, whether it's on one end or both, but there's no more feelings involved.
Yeah,
I
because
just
that's called parallel parenting. I don't know if
Are you familiar with the term?
familiar with the term
I've
parallel
never heard
parenting.
that. I've never heard it.
So that's basically what you're doing right now. You only need to talk to her if it's like through a parenting app or it's to pick up your daughter. If I was you at this point, because she already tried to hit you with the silver bullet,
Hmm.
I just always show up with the police at all times and just to cover yourself. And because
Yeah, to go through what you went through, to even with the child support. Now, where are you with that? Was that modified or
So
even
that
dismissed?
yeah, yeah. So that's
Okay.
actually being amended. I
Okay.
actually got a text message from her today that we have to go back to court. We were talking, we were texting back and forth because I was trying to get my daughter for the 4th of July. Because last year I wasn't even able to see her, so we were talking cordial, and then it was about 4 o'clock. She said, uh, no, that I couldn't have her. I was like, okay, wow, like, and then she had texted me that we now have to go back to court, that she got the call from child support that we have to go back to court now
Yeah,
for child
because you're
support.
fighting. You're fighting,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
as you should, and it's very good. I mean, from the start, you were determined to have a relationship with your daughter. We knew that right away, that you weren't gonna just lay down, and allow her to just bully you. And the baby was fairly young. So this is great that you're
yeah,
doing all of this now, because half of the toxicity she won't even recall. She's so little she won't even know about it unless her mom
yeah,
fills her in on something that she shouldn't know about. But as
yeah,
far as you been able to, connect with your baby and have your new life and situation, and you pretty stable in terms of what you want, and that's what it takes. Like, this is what we preach all the time.
yeah.
Get your plan in order, do what you have to do. You don't need to be a millionaire, right?
Nope.
Obviously, you don't need to have all these funds. You can go and fight and be successful. And so I'm so glad you came back with an update. We always tell people to do that,
Thank
but
you,
many don't. And
thank you.
it's very refreshing to see where you are today, and the fact
Yeah,
that you're still being able to fight and be with your baby, because that was tough, going through the civil bullet and being
yeah,
away from her and being alienated.
for sure,
mhm.
for sure, for sure.
And so I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, man,
Thank you.
yeah,
I
because
appreciate it.
you was in a bad place a couple of months ago, man.
Oh, it was terrible. It was
Oh
horrible.
yeah,
It was bad. It was bad, and I think if you allow yourself to stay there, that's where you're gonna stay. And if like we all have a choice, and I made the choice. Like I've been a day one dad with my son. I'm gonna be a day one dad with my daughter, and I'm gonna be in
Well,
her
so
life. And
what was the turning point for you?
um, I would probably say when that incident happened, I think that, and I think meeting this new girl a few months ago, and her actually not pushing me, but just kind of saying, hey, look, I think it would be best if you started this process, because what's preventing your baby's mom from just picking up your daughter and leaving. And
Yeah,
then a few weeks later, she texts me, I'm moving away. Like, okay, well, that's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I think it was kind of just a combination of things, of just being in that dark place, meeting this person, her pulling me out of it, and actually helping me, not pushing me, or not trying to, force me to do anything, but hey, saying, hey, look, if you think about it like this, there's nothing preventing her. You guys have nothing on paper. You need to protect yourself.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, that was a great move because I know fathers that went the child whole life without seeing them just for that
Yeah.
one mistake of not fighting in that moment, and then she move away, and then they never see the kid ever
Nothing you
again.
could do at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just to be clear, it is an uphill battle, especially dealing with somebody that's so high conflict. Who's to say you won't have to go back several times? Because even us knowing and when in custody, we're in the process of going back to court as well, and
Hmm.
yeah,
we've had custody for 2 years now, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just an uphill battle, So always just keep that in mind. Stay, the course. Stay focused, keep the goal in your mind that this is just what it's going to be. And
yeah,
so regardless if another person can't accept it and can't handle it and choose to want to create more problems, protect yourself, we would suggest that you do in the mediation mention that parenting app, like text
Yeah.
messaging
yeah,
to your personal phone. It's just not good. We use Talking Parents. There's some other ones out there like Family Wisdom and things, but Talking Parents is very, very good with documenting. Everything is time stamped. Use that app like you're talking to the judge, or like the judge
yes,
has eyes on it at all times, because it's going to be a very critical piece of evidence
yes,
in terms of how you communicate, how you co-parent, if you ever need to go back to court in the future. So that's something that we always let
yeah,
our community know. Try to steer away from having a personal bond with this person.
yeah.
And it's not that we
Yeah.
don't encourage you to co-parent effectively, but when
Just
somebody is playing dirty games and doing the things, they can always come back and do that again.
yeah.
This is just not the space
And
for
they
that.
cross so many boundaries. You said you got a girlfriend. She
Yeah,
gonna feel like she can text and call at any time. You
yeah,
just don't want them type of problems because that it could definitely cause a strain on y'all relationship, and
Yeah.
you want to just eliminate that issue as much as possible. So
yeah. It's
Absolutely.
just it's easy to journal. It just keeps everything in one spot. It's just perfect. Like, so bring that up in mediation. A lot of times people decline to use it because they know what the purpose of it is for. They know they could be monitored, right?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
somebody's wanting to try to use a tactic later on you that blindsides you, they don't want to be always monitored, and documentation that could be used against them later for their actions. So
for
other
sure.
than that, I believe, we
Yeah,
believe that you are
yeah.
gonna get
You
exactly what
good.
you deserve, even if you don't get it
Yeah,
easily, because in mediation, I almost expect that you guys won't agree.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because maybe she will realize that 50-50 is not even um it's not good.
you really think she gonna realize? Yeah, right.
50
Yeah.
50 is not the, I didn't mean to say not good, because it is a win, right? But
Yeah.
it's really not 50-50. We always
Yeah.
like to point that out. It's just 50-50 seems like everything is 50-50, but it's really not.
Yeah.
The non-custodial parent still gets the shorter end of the stick. Let's be realistic. So
Yeah.
we don't know why anybody would disagree to that. But of course, if somebody wants to take your kid away forever, they wouldn't even want you to have the least bit of
But
time
yeah,
with them, right?
yeah. That's
Absolutely.
the best information I can give you is just don't just think about right now for mediation. that's the biggest mistake that I see a lot of fathers make. You still
You
with
there?
us? Right? Ah, man.
Not technical difficulties.
What's going on? Is he back?
He probably.
All right, try to leave out and come back in.
That was a good update. When I
Man,
seen his face, I was excited. Like, I know he got some good news. I can tell by the way he's looking that he wants to give us an update that was going to be a good update. We have had some updates that weren't so well, that didn't make the platform because some people
man.
just
Yeah.
crashed out.
Yeah,
That's
totally
what we
opposite.
say. Please don't do that. Um, but no, we cannot hear you, Ray. We're currently the screen is black and we can't see you or hear you. So if you can come back out and come back in, that would be great.
I think he can.
But yeah, I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know if it's the internet, like the Wi-Fi. We got very strong Wi-Fi, but sometimes it just lags. It just
Yeah.
does this. We would hate to stop the live and start it over again. But anybody, you all are all welcome to come up and tell your story. Click the link in the comments. We want to hear it. We're here for you guys, just to even, if you got questions, if you know about parental alienation, if you want to learn more about parallel parenting, that's why we do this, to kind of educate and help everybody get on the page that we're on when it comes down to doing what's in the best interest of your kids. So
Yes, for sure. Uh, I'm trying to see what's maybe I could do some on my end. There we go. Well, and tell you what, he ain't come back in, man. I really wanted to land that plane, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because I know he's probably gonna go back and view this. But the biggest mistake that is that him? All right,
yeah,
there
he's
we go.
back.
He back.
Great.
All right, we back. All right,
Sorry
so
about that.
the biggest mistake that a lot of I see a lot of fathers make is they only think about like right now. So when you go into mediation, you got to start thinking about the future. You got to understand this is going to be your order for the next 18 years. So you got to start thinking about the future of things that's going on that's going to take place. That you know you got to start thinking about that because you got to ask for that in the mediation. And you know once you ask for that in the mediation, then it sticks for the rest of the duration of the order. So you got to make sure that you have that in stone. And a lot of men I see make the mistake that they forget to ask about certain things, and then now the kid's 16, and then now you got to go back to court, or you just stuck on the outside. So just make sure you keep that in mind when it comes to certain things.
Yep. Everything
Absolutely.
that you think that you want
Yeah,
for the situation, lay it all out right then and there. I
yeah,
mean,
that's the time.
it'll
Sure.
just make your life a lot easier. Think about all of those things and how you want things to go. Um, yeah, that's not really standardized. The things that you want tailored to that may not be, because I know a lot of states have standard orders. And if you just granted that standard 50-50, it may, have a certain set schedule and this and that. But sometimes that doesn't work for people. And
Yeah,
if it's something extra that you think is reasonable, right?
like passports, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
anything, even with schedules,
Yes.
with the school, just read over the standard 50-50 order and see if that's something that's going to work out completely for you before you
Yeah,
agree to it.
for
Because
sure.
it's some
Absolutely.
little things that you can tweak for
Okay.
sure. That's not that might not be a big deal. I mean, the order may say the kid can stay with you once a week on a Tuesday night, but that may not work out with your
Yeah, your work
schedule.
schedule,
So you
yeah.
may say, can it be Thursday instead of Tuesday? You do have the right to,
Yeah.
do those type
And
of
make
things.
sure you read over your order thoroughly. Just don't, if you got a lawyer, just don't, make sure you read over it and understand it.
Do you have attorney?
I did, but it's a 6,000 retainer fee, and I just like I said, I'm a school teacher. I'm a public
Yeah,
school teacher, so
yeah,
I
it get
I
rough.
I couldn't, I couldn't.
Yeah.
So
So what
um,
you doing with all them shoes in the back, man? You ain't got a size 12 back there, do
I
you?
got a lot of size 12, man. If you want to check out our store, it's on Instagram.
Okay.
I didn't want to promote it, but I do
Go
have a card.
ahead.
I do have a card right here. It's called at good company,
Hmm.
Christian
Okay.
based, owned and operated shoe store. Um, the owner is a friend from high school. He gives back to the community. He does so many giveaways. He does a lot of things for the kids. Back to school, free back to school clothes and shoes and stuff. So check out our Instagram at Good
Okay.
Company. We are located in San Bernardino, California. We do ship,
Okay.
and I have a lot of size 12 actually that just came in,
All
that
right.
I need to tag and get posted. So um,
All right. Appreciate you, man. But good luck, man. Just keep us posted.
And we always love all the updates. I
Yeah.
mean, you kept in touch with us. Even if you just let us know what the actual final order was and how it worked out for you, we still want to know the feedback because since we talked to you last and spoke to you last, have you still been following the platform? Has there been anything helpful that we provided for you since the last time we spoke to you?
yeah, I try to tune in on Mondays and Fridays. I do check out the videos and stuff, and I just, there's a lot to, there's yours, and then there's the 50/50 dad one that I do watch their stuff. And I love what you guys do. You give dads the strength to fight. You give dads a way to fight, and you give them information that most dads don't probably have or know about. And I appreciate it, and I think it's really good, to see, dads fighting for their kids. And I think that's one thing that discourages a lot of dads is the work you have to put in. I
Yeah.
stood in that line for those papers for 9 hours, and it was my whole day. And did it suck? Absolutely, but I would do it 100 times over again if it meant that I was going to be able to see my daughter. And as dads, like, we got to step up, we got to keep fighting, and we got to be there for our kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ray, for
And
joining us.
yeah.
It's such a pleasure.
For sure. You look so much better, man. You look
Yeah,
happier. So,
yeah.
like, for real, like,
It's the glow,
I
man. It's the
appreciate it.
glow.
It
go look
was a
back at
dark
the
place.
old videos,
I
man. I'm
do, I
telling you.
do, I do. From
Yeah.
from from time to time, I'll go back and look at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, and it was a
Yeah.
dark time. It was a dark time, but I see
Yeah.
the light now, and I'm just, man, I'm just trying to take it day by day.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much, you
bro.
guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys take
Thank
care.
you.
God bless.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Again,
Man.
before we were interrupted with the technical difficulties, I just have to say, like, this is why we do it, and that's the proof. That's the proof of a father we spoke to months and months back. We had a word. The story is up. If you guys want to view the video of what he was experiencing, and today, because he took the steps and he took the action and will not just allow somebody to take his kid away, he's in a really, really good place. He's in a better place, a better spot for him and his kid. And so this stuff works. Like,
Because
don't,
yeah, because I was just gonna say 9 times out of 10, whatever the temporary order is, they
it can be the final
find
one.
them. So
Yep.
kudos to that father.
We have another guest in the queue. Jay, coming to you. Are you driving?
Hope you're not driving, Jay.
Because you don't have to
I
apologize.
am. I
Okay.
am. I'm about to be done. I didn't know I was gonna get put on. My bad.
Yeah, you gonna have to pull over some because
Yeah, we can't. We
they'll
can't.
flag us for
No, right,
safety
right,
issues.
right. I'm pulling over right now.
All right. Meanwhile, in between time, where you tuning in from?
I'm in California.
Oh man.
Another Cali case.
Cali cases are the worst. What you mean?
No, we
As far
know.
as
It's just two on one night. It's all
Yeah.
back. It's just back to back. The last dad that we just spoke to was in California as well. So how many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids.
We need to see your face too. So once you pull it over, you gotta hold the camera up.
Yep.
You said you
Pull over
have
right
four.
now. I have four. Yeah, I have four children. The oldest is 27, then a 20-year-old about to be 21, and 18-year-old who just turned 18 a month ago. And then I have an 8-year-old. I was super tripping. So yeah, I
Do
got
they
'em.
all have the same mom?
No, the first three have the same mom, and then the last one she's a different mom.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're waiting on you to pull up.
Yeah, you gotta pull over,
Yeah,
man.
I'm pulling over right now, bro.
Meanwhile, in between time for everybody that's watching, make sure y'all go subscribe, like, comment, share, do the everything.
That's
All
to 10,000 subbies.
yeah, for sure. And make sure you go follow us on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and maybe you might learn something. For you fathers that's out there that's not fighting, man, y'all need to go out there. Y'all need to put that work in, man. Nobody ever said it's gonna come overnight. It took us 5 years. I know some fathers, they on their 10th year, but it is all about how much your kids mean to you. And a lot of us, it took longer is because we didn't take the necessary steps when we were supposed to. So that's why we here for y'all,
Time is of the essence.
for sure. Are you ready?
I'm at the stoplight pulling over right now, bro. I'm sorry.
Man, what you just get off of work or something, man?
Yeah, man. Like I'm usually off early. That's why I accepted the time you guys said. But shoot, I had to work a little later today. I'm a chef. I had a couple more plates to do, so wasn't able to step out of there on time. I apologize.
See how they be
Um,
doing us, man? They be doing us
hey, man, that
wrong.
child support how you staying at work every minute, man.
We be trying to let these fathers get their story out, man, but they be doing us wrong, man.
Bro, you can't miss
Uh,
a minute. You get almost a grand took out your check, bro. So
man,
you gotta be at work.
yeah, we definitely understand that. Definitely get it.
Definitely.
So I see on your Instagram profile is three children, you with a woman. Is that the first three kids?
Yes.
And they're all grown now, older.
Yes, as of this year, yes, they are all grown.
So how long have you had that as your profile picture?
Oh, what? Oh, see, that's my 8-year-old. The picture that's up there now.
Okay, because I see three babies.
Three babies.
Okay.
Oh, see, that's my grandbabies that I don't get to see because I'm alienated from them now, from their mama, because she hate me from the divorce and all that other stuff. So no, those are my grandchildren.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
you
So
got to pull over, man. We got to get into this
Yeah, I'm pulling up
story.
right now.
okay, so you're with
I
the youngest kid's mom.
no,
Gotcha.
no.
So who's the woman in the picture?
uh, if it's in a picture, it could be my daughter, my oldest daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If Yeah, because I'm not really sure what's my profile picture up there, but if it's some little ones and me, it could be my daughter. And
Yeah,
I don't.
she's the
Oh no, that's my
teenagers
wife.
little.
That's my
It's
wife.
the
That's actually my wife. That's my current wife right now.
what that's in the profile picture?
Yes, if it's a picture of me
Right.
sitting down with a couple of kids, 3 kids, and her above me,
Look
then
at
that's
the
my wife.
phone.
This is the picture.
Oh yeah, okay, that's my wife, my 8-year-old, and my two grandbabies.
Look
They
at the
clowning us
viewers.
in the top in the
Look,
comments because you ain't
look,
pulled over yet.
look. It said it's taking you 10 minutes. You've been trying to pull over for 10 minutes now.
I know I'm trying to get to the house because I got my wife here with my 8-year-old, and I'm like
Miles, you
been at
absolutely
work all
right,
day,
man.
huh?
So- I'm talking to Miles. He said, bro, we trying to pull over for the last 10 minutes.
Man, I'm trying to get to the house. I got my 8-year-old here. I don't want to sit at the corner. my wife's gonna be like, then I'm gonna be divorced again. So I'm trying to run to get to the house right quick. I'm sorry, y'all.
So how far are
I'm
you away
pulling.
from your
Yeah.
house? Because we may have to
I'm
do this
literally
another time.
5 seconds. I'm right here. I'm
No,
five
cause
seconds.
like seriously, we might have to end this, man. Cause
No, I'm
it's
see. I see my house right now. So no, yeah.
Miles crazy, man.
No, that's my. That's the picture of my wife and my grandbabies right there. Oh yeah, I'm right. I'm stopped right now, y'all.
All
Okay.
right, sure,
Sorry
ready.
about that.
Okay, we gotta see your face in the screen. You gotta put your phone up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we was very patient with you, man. Cause normally we
You
would have
was.
just
You
ended
was.
it and moved on to the next person.
I appreciate y'all.
Okay,
I
so
appreciate
you
what y'all
said
doing too. It's big stuff.
All right, I
okay.
appreciate
Thanks
you.
you for that.
All right, so we're gonna start from the top. So now your phone went out. Y'all see? This is what Monday do for us. This is stuff we got to deal with on Mondays.
So we waited for him to pull over, and then his phone died.
So how is this supposed to work? So for y'all that's viewing, should we wait or should we just move on?
I'm hungry. I'll get something
I just want to know what they because they've been patiently waiting too. Like we try to do this. This is what we're going through. We might have to do this remove a day or something. Okay, maybe he coming back in. So look, just type in the chat, man. Should we wait for this guy after waiting 10 minutes already?
to eat. I mean, we really want to hear his story. Like, we really want to know what is going on because he's in a picture with his grandkids, and then he said he's alienated from them,
And his
and his daughter is not so happy about the divorce with the ex-wife. So yeah, we need to know what's going on.
yeah. Meanwhile, in between time, man, y'all need to go check out our ebooks. Uh, y'all need to go check out other stories that's being that we all right, here we go. He's back.
Other
All right,
day.
all right, all right, all right, all right, Jay. You got to get to a stationary place with some light, man. I make sure the light facing your face so we can see your face. All right, all right. Ready? Make sure the light like on your face. Like you gotta, your face got to be towards the light.
Like
All
that?
right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Right there. All right. So where you calling from?
I'm calling from California.
From Cali. Okay. And how many kids do you have?
I have four.
4 kids. And how many is being alienated?
Three. They're actually grown now, so I'm at the end of it. Really,
Okay. All right. And how many baby mamas did you have, or was it a
I have two.
situationship? Two.
Nah, my first one, it was shoot, it was my junior high sweetheart. We got married. We met each other in junior high. Got married. We stayed together till we were in our 30s. So it's
Okay.
20 years.
All right.
Raised my first kid all the way up until college and all.
So who filed for divorce?
And she filed for divorce, but I the one that decided we should break up.
So because you said that y'all should go y'all separate ways, she's the one who filed. So why you didn't file?
I didn't really think of it. I didn't think of a divorce. Honestly, when it initially started, I didn't really think we were gonna get a divorce or something. Maybe I didn't even think that far. Um, but then it just kind of happened. Yeah.
Is it any way you can send her the phone to to get just you, like your face or okay.
Yeah, we'll work with that right
That's
there.
better.
We'll
Much
work with
better.
that. All right.
Okay. So she filed for divorce and it was finalized. And what was the custody agreement?
So that's kind of where it started getting super dark. So I did everything I was supposed to do. You know, when you go and you went down to the court, you do the family court mediation stuff like that. We did mediation, and I got half time. She got 4 days, and I got the 3 days. Um, but when that happened, my eldest daughter called me a week later and said, "Can I come over and meet the girl that you're going to be having my younger siblings around?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. You know, you can come meet her." And she came. When she came to
Wait,
meet her, she came with
pause.
her.
Pause. You were already with another woman? Or
Yes, yes. I already have my own apartment for him and everything.
okay, so
Um,
how did your daughter know that you were with somebody else? Who told you?
Well, because that was one of the things her mom was upset about. That she even brought in the mediation. Was like, well, he has a girlfriend now, and the mediation person actually said, well, even if he had a boyfriend, he could get his time with his children. That you guys raised together and you were married, you've been together since you were in junior high. He still gets his parenting time. So that's how she knew about it.
Okay, so you said your daughter called and said, can she meet your new significant other? And you agreed.
Yes, yes.
And what happened?
So I met her. Actually, I didn't have a car at the time. I met her on the bus. We met in the middle, and then she came back to the house to meet the girl with me. And just the whole energy, uh, she told me she wanted to meet her because she wanted to meet the person that her siblings were going to be around, her younger siblings, because they were probably like, I guess, 8 and 5 at the time, 8 and 4 at the time. And so when she got to the house, she just kind of started interrogating the girl and like, well, you made my dad leave my mom and you're the reason and stuff like that. So I kind of started to feel like, this isn't like, this not why you came over here. I thought you came over to meet her. You never even met this person before. Um,
So is
and
that was that true? Did you cheat on
no, 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 I wasn't dating anybody or anything when we first initially separated. And I had to get an apartment, do stuff like that. So no, I didn't do any of that stuff. No, I was dating. It was my junior high sweetheart. I was
So
married to her. We were in love.
you would think because you guys grew apart, you decided you didn't want to be married to her anymore, and she filed for divorce, that it wouldn't be an issue for you to move on because it seemed like it was amicable that you both decided let's split.
You would
So
think. You would think. Yeah.
right. So what do you think it was? Do you think it's because you moved on and got a new woman and the kids had to go around the new woman? Was that what kind of sparked the nastiness?
I guess. Well, to end the story with when my daughter did come over, she came over and she kind of started to fuss at the girl a little bit. So then I told her, well, I'll just walk you guys back to the bus stop. This I don't want you to fight the girl. You never argue with the girl. You never met her before. So I actually stepped in the front yard to smoke, and I left my daughter, and she brought a friend with her who were in the house. And then 5 seconds later, my daughter and her friend came running out the house. They come running out the house, and I said, "What are you guys going? I'll walk you to the bus stop. Like, it's okay, even though we argue, we're fine." They just ran. They kept running, and I'm just like confused why they were running. And then here comes my girlfriend come out the house, hair all messed up, face scratched
what?
up, and they jumped her and they beat her up.
Oh my
Um,
God.
I jumped.
How old was your eldest
She
daughter and her
was
friend?
she was 16. She was 16. 16, 17. I ran out the house, ran after them. I couldn't catch them because these girls were on the varsity basketball team, so I couldn't catch them right. Um, and mind you, the girl, my girlfriend, who's my ex now, and actually who is my daughter's mother at this point now, the 8-year-old that I have.
Okay.
So I'll get back to that. So she come out and she said they jumped me, they beat me up, and when you went outside, so I chased after them. I had to get on a bus to catch them, and I caught a bus that I got behind them. I was only behind them for like 1 minute. And it was only like 5 blocks they went. By the time I caught up to them, her mom was already picking her up. Her mom had set the
Wow.
fight up with the 16-year-old to come over to fight my new girlfriend. They called the police. The police came over and arrested my girlfriend for assaulting a minor. And then I had to go back to court, and I had supervised visits for the rest of the time they were minors because of that.
Wow.
I
Okay.
talked to the mother. I've talked to the mother and my 16-year-old child. She was 16 at the time, and said, "Well, you were there, so you guys set that up." She was like, "Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't gonna let that bitch be around my kids." And my 16-year-old, who was like 17, almost 18 at the time, was like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna let her be some random be around my brother and sister." And I'm like, that was a grown woman. She could have like stabbed you or had a gun or something. And my ex wife was like, "You were gonna protect her. You were there."
She
And
ain't
I'm
do
just
nothing but
like,
just
"What?"
adopt. She ain't do nothing but just take on your ex feelings. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Okay.
They
So obviously
so
you
that just
guys stayed together because you ended up having a child together.
we like broke up. So I actually went back to my ex-wife because I wasn't able to see my kids, and my oldest was about to graduate, and I knew, and I'm being honest, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to see her or see her graduate because I'd already went through the court, and she had been able to hit me with the silver bullet with the restraining order and everything. So I wasn't able to go around them or anything at that point. I've never been in jail or anything. Um, Never been spousal abuse, none of that stuff. So then, I went back to with her, so I could see
But
my.
okay, pause. If y'all agree not to be together, how do you get back? How do you go back to that?
Because
Because
she wasn't. She never really like. I hate to say it. I think a lot of moms don't like being moms, and I think some of them are moms because they're with the guy and they like the guy. She loved me. She didn't love being a mom. You know. So
okay.
that what it was. She took me back, and I got my way back in the house because I wanted to see my 18-year-old graduate. And as soon as she graduated and went off to college, I left, and I was done with her, and I never
So
went back to
how
her.
long were you there for the
Oh, I
second?
was only like 6 months, like
So
six
let me ask
months.
you. Let me ask you this. So why didn't when you said you didn't want to be with her the first time? Why didn't you file for divorce?
It's just something I never even thought about it. I never even thought to do it. I I hate to put us guys in a box like that, but it was just like I don't know. It's not how I was thinking at that point. And mind you, it was 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I was a lot younger, unintelligent, and I
Okay.
didn't know what I
All
should
right.
do. I was just
So
trying to get away.
okay, now fast forward to present right now. So you said when you went back, you was back with her for 6 months. So did you have your 8 year old at that time already with the
No,
with
she
the
wasn't
with the
even
girl that
alive. She
got beat
wasn't.
up?
She wasn't born. And then later after that, when I left again, that's when my 8-year-old was conceived. And I couldn't. The girl who my second baby mom, she couldn't stay with me. She didn't want to stay with me. She got beat up by my daughter. She didn't want to be around her. She's terrified of the girl, my daughter, and her mother and everyone else over there. So it's like she had the kid, and then we've co-parented since my daughter's been born because she never wanted to be with me after that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Um,
wow.
Okay.
um,
So now you have an 8 year old and then you have the older kids. Once you left the second time, did they even get a chance to meet the 8 year old? How did her mom even feel about your kid with her going around the
so
siblings after they did what they did to her to them?
she she is like a super hippie loving kind of chill sister, different, and she's kind of okay with it. She's never given me any guidelines like I don't want them around my daughter or this or that. She's been as cool as she can be about it. But they don't fuck with her though. They don't spend time with her. I have a granddaughter who's 6, who's only 2 years younger than my child, and my 8-year old's never even spent the night at her older sister's house, not one time.
So even just
They don't
getting
speak
back
to her. They
to
don't spend time with her. They don't acknowledge her.
okay.
Wow.
So how did the picture happen? Is that's the oldest daughter, the one who jumped on
So
her?
right. So as you can guess, it just destroyed our relationship from her doing that. But we were always really, really close, and I mean, she's my oldest child. Like I've had her since I was 15 years old. 16 years old. So we had a deep relationship. So we've tried over times to get back close, and we'll try, but there's always this wall up because she beat up this girl that caused me to get supervised visits, that caused me to not be able to be a dad to my children. And she's really unapologetic about it. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I whooped her ass. I don't care. It's whatever. It's whatever. So that's how the picture happened. Now we get estranged, and then we get back good. Then we fall out. Then we get
So
good.
let me
Then we
ask you
fall out.
this. So you said you had her since she was 15, right? And you was
hmm
in her life for how long? Until she was.
Raised her whole life. Her whole life.
I'm talking about the breakup. So how old was she
hmm
when y'all broke up?
16.
She was 16. Okay. So
Then she came and lived with me without
hold
not even
on,
living with her mom.
hold on. So okay. So have she ever disrespected you or did anything in that nature before that fight?
Never. I could never. I couldn't even fathom that this child would come over and fight a random adult she never met ever in her life. No, I couldn't even. That's nothing. Cause some people say that to me when I tell this story, and they're like, "Well, why did you have to come?" Well, who would assume that your sweet daughter would come and fight a random grown woman out of the
So
blue, as a crash dummy for her mom? I couldn't even wrap
that's
my brain around
unbelievable.
it.
I never heard nothing like that before,
I
ever.
couldn't even wrap my brain around it. No.
And
Over
I
the
mean,
years, I begged her. Over the years, I begged her because she's grown over that time. It's like, you're 20 now. Can you just write a letter to the court and tell them what you did, and it will make them take the supervised visits away. It will make them take a look at your mom and with something. And she's refused. Like,
so
I'm not
how long
snitching on my
how long was
mom.
how long was you gone before she actually came over and did that?
Oh, you mean how long would me and her mom broke up?
Yeah.
I don't know, 8 months, 9 months, something like that.
And did you
Maybe a
have
year.
contact with them within that 9 months?
Yeah, yeah. It was it. You know, I was getting my weekends here and there, but then she started to, oh, well, they don't want to come over this weekend, or they're crying, or this, the classic kind of thing, and so they were starting to get few and far between. Um, but I thought I did everything I was supposed to do by doing the court stuff, going to court, doing the mediation, filing the
yeah,
papers, serving the
You was
papers.
definitely getting alienated at that point, and
Oh yeah,
I'm glad that
I
you
mean,
hitting it from this angle because a lot of people just think parental alienation means that you just can't see the kids at all. But
no.
she was actually targeting you. She was turning the kids against you, and you had no idea that was what happened.
I kind of believe it was already happening before he divorced her.
Oh yeah,
Like,
It was always this thing we had because she didn't like being a mom. Like, I take them to kids movies. Daddy daughter day was a thing with my daughters and my son, and like, I was all into building bonds, and we threw parties and do all that stuff, like a pretty lush family life. But it was always this contention between us because if we would get into it, I would tell her, like, I'm here for my kids. I love my kids. She knew they were the prize to me, and but that's what they do. Is like, when they figure out what's most important to you, they will destroy them, you, and themselves to destroy you. They will destroy the
yeah,
children. They will
they
destroy
hate you more than they
everything.
love the kids.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Oh,
Absolutely.
that's definitely, definitely. So, and now I'm not able to see my grandchildren because because of about a month and a half ago, my 20-year-old son drove to my house and fought me because my daughter told him to. They set up a fight with my son because I was trying to parent him. His mother is abusive, and she stalks him in and does stuff like that. He picked up the same habits, and I tried to parent him. I called him and told him it was not okay. It's disgusting. Stop that shit. Don't do it. And he said, "Well, I'll come over there and fight you." And he came over to my house and we got into a fight. Now, the reason why I say that they set it up because later, 2 days later, I talked to my eldest about it. We were talking about it, and because she was upset about it, and she told me, we started kind of arguing. She told me, she said, I sent him over there. I told him, you disrespected us. You talk crazy to us. So I sent him over there. You're not gonna talk crazy to us no more. Like so, she set up the look, and also how I know that they set it up. My son,
Right.
when he comes over to the house, we started fighting. Right when the fight ends, I look over and he has his cell phone set up with his mother on it, his sister on it, his grandma on it, his 17-year-old sister on it, all on FaceTime on a Zoom call. Everyone watching it.
So basically, all your kids, all three of them, are on their mother's side.
Oh yeah, but also they seem like seemingly kind of hate her too, but they would choose her. But she left the like I have a child who just turned 18. She left that kid 2 years ago. That kid's been living with her grandma and refused to live with me, and no one encouraged her or pushed her to live with me when she was over here visiting with me for 3 days, 3 days straight for like a year almost. But she lives with her. The mom picked up and moved to Texas and left the kids, all the kids out here. Left my 17-year-old out here when she was 15 or 16. I've been paying child support. She live in Texas. I've been paying child support uh, to a woman don't even live in California. Ain't had a kid for 2 years. Child support people
So,
don't even
but
have.
okay, so
This is a lot.
to
Oh
even
yeah, sorry.
have
I'm
these
sorry, man. It's
kids, to have them and be a part of their life, like how is this stuff okay? Like being alienated by their mom is clear cut. Like we see the effects, but you've had contact, you've been with them. What's that like? Like what are those visits like when you guys were together?
it's it's so it's so like it's so messed up, because like I'll go to family functions. Like I have grandchildren, you go to grandchildren birthday parties and stuff like that. You just be sitting there at the table, no one speaking to you. I have my 8-year-old there, don't want to be talking to her. My wife, I forced my wife to come with me, and no one speak to my wife. My wife just will argue before we go, and I'll just subject us to that because I want to be around them. But
No,
as they
no.
as
I
they've gotten
mean,
older, I
Well,
just you just
let
ku-
gotta let it
let
kudos to
go.
your wife, but she absolutely should not be subjected to that.
yeah,
No, no,
especially
no.
after
Since
they.
this last fight, since my son, a boy who I wiped poop off his balls, came to my house and fought me, I told her that I would never subject her to that no more, and I've never allowed my 8-year-old to be around them anymore because
So
now I see that I can't control them, and I can't have my 8-year-old see me in that light.
I have a question for you. One, did you whoop his ass?
Yeah, we fought, bro. What do you mean?
Okay, so because he was way out of line, and I hope he's watching this
Bro,
right now.
he's
He's
never
so out of
got
line
into
for
a
fighting his
fight ever
father.
in his life. He never got into a fight in his life, and he gonna walk around forever in his life saying the first fight he got into was with his father.
And then two is when is enough?
It's enough now. I throw away having grandchildren. I throw away having three older kids who I love. I think I love them. You can't
And
not love your kids.
I never tell a father to ever give up,
But
right?
you got to walk away for your mental health,
You
for
talking
your
about
sanity.
grown kids now. Like
Yes,
these
grown
are
children.
adults.
And violence,
Yes,
and
violence.
disrespect and all the things that you just should never stand for, especially
Yeah,
from a child that you
yeah.
created and raised.
Yeah,
Like,
it's such a weird relationship, because it's like I it's just weird. It's so weird. I never nothing. I'm 44. I grew up old school parents. Do as you say, do as listen, obey, all that kind. Like
But
it's
them
just
not
so
your them
backwards.
not you didn't raise those kids.
I did not. I did not. I don't even know them. I don't even know them.
Like
I don't even know them.
you was there, but she had they all her. So there's
Yeah,
nothing you can do about that.
yeah.
You gotta understand that they are 50% her, but they have her mindset.
all of it.
So, man, that's this is tough, bro.
And as far as your baby, the 8 year old, like it's unfair for her
Definitely.
to even be put in a
I think of
situation where she can recognize that people are
what
deliberately ignoring her. Like
I
that's
think
nothing but
about
trauma.
her. Yeah, for sure. I think about her future when she gets older, and maybe like what is she gonna feel about her
No,
siblings that
no, no, no. When she's old enough, then you explain to her the truth. But
I
as a
feel that's what I
kid,
struggle with. That's what I struggle
you
with. And
don't put her through trauma because you
no,
see
I never
that.
even told her about none of this stuff. Never told her
Yeah,
about none
you
of it.
see that
So let me
it's not
now,
working.
now that you just said when once you get older. So have you and your kids ever had the older kids ever had a conversation about what really happened?
Yeah, yes, I've told them. I've talked to them and told I had a conversation not too long ago with the 18-year-old where I said, like, you guys hold this stuff against me, but do you hold anything against the oldest when she was the one that stepped in and fought this woman and got me supervised visits and made it so I could never, I had to get, I used, look, so in the order when they made it so I had supervised visits because of the fight, they made it also so that those children could never be around my girlfriend. I was getting hotel rooms just to see my children. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to explain it to her, like I had to get hotel rooms to see you guys. I had a restraining order that your mom put on me. I couldn't. Even, I had to have supervised phone calls with you guys. I'm like, how could I parent in that environment? And like, you guys, you hated me, and you didn't want to be around
So
me.
you
So,
didn't
and
see any signs of this toxicity during the marriage? Like she wasn't
oh
like
God,
bullying you in other ways?
yes,
Like
yes, yes, definitely, yes. But you don't. But I didn't never assume that because I also, like I told you, know, she didn't like being a mom. She just wanted to be with me.
What was you
That's
gonna
like,
compare it to?
yeah, I didn't know like what would happen when I broke up with her that she would do this, that she would go on this
No,
campaign.
I'm talking about
And
this. I'm talking about the simple fact that you saying going back, like yeah, she was bullying you, and but how do you know what's a good relationship and how things supposed to play out? You said you was young, right?
yeah, we've been together since we were junior high.
All right.
And
So
I and I'm
when
and
did
I'm
you notice
I'm
as an adult that that wasn't what was supposed to be happening?
it wasn't normal.
It
Bruh,
wasn't normal.
when that really when the divorce started happening and I started seeing the crazy behavior, she got committed to the mental house twice, and they still gave her 100% custody of the children. She got arrested for putting me in the car and assaulting. She got charged with kidnapping for putting me in the car and driving 100 miles an hour through a residential, and they still gave her 100% custody of the children.
How
They
did
took
she
her
put?
license, so
God.
He put you in the car without you trying to get
bro,
out.
I saw her and I'm walking to work and um she asked me did I want to ride to work, and I'm an idiot and I jumped in the car with her, and she had heard about me being around another girl and she flipped out and drove 100 miles an hour, fighting me, punching me, scratching me. I never punched her, never hit her back, none of that. And she got arrested and they charged her with kidnapping and assault and all this other shit, and they took her daycare license away, but the court still gave her 100% custody of the children.
Daycare license. This woman got a daycare.
Took her daycare license away, but still she had 100% custody of the children. I tried to take that back to court. Like, this woman was committed. They're like, well, we don't have any record of that. I'm like, well, obviously, like, but ask her, was she? She was arrested for 3 days. Like, what do you like?
Did you
When she
have
got
an
arrested?
attorney? Did you guys have an attorney or
No,
litigation
I
to
didn't. I didn't
defend
have
you?
it. I didn't have an attorney. I was getting $1,200 took out my check. I was going home with $400 checks. There's no way I could get an attorney. I could barely feed myself. I couldn't even buy get like what attorney?
Then you were
No.
blindsided with the silver bullet,
So
so that's almost like an infinite sentence.
okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. So I have a question for you. If we got to bring it back. All right. So you
Right.
said all right. First of all, is the 8 year old? Are you? Is this the mom that's your wife today?
No. That's the
Okay.
the
All right.
girl who got. That's the girl who got beat up's
Yeah.
child.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how was you? how was you with so the girl that got beat up, did y'all had a kid, right?
That's the
Yeah, the
That's
eight-year-old.
the
8 year old.
8-year-old, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, because y'all confused me when he said his wife and then his 8-year-old, he said
No,
his
yeah.
female, but he's talking past this. Okay. So when you went back to your ex-wife and then came back with her, how was that? Like how did she accept that? For y'all to then have
Dude,
a kid after
it's
that?
she never let me in again. She never let me close again. She never considered me like her boyfriend again. It was we were having sex and hanging out, but it was she couldn't look at me like that. You know, she couldn't. She would never. Yeah, that was what it was. We just hung out, had sex, and she ended up getting pregnant, and then we decided to have the child. But it was we never were together again after that.
But like you said, because she's the cool type of chick she is, she wasn't really reluctant towards having the new baby around the other kids because they're all your kids. She was trying to make
Yeah.
fair
No,
with
she is
your
at all times. We share custody. We totally 50-50 share custody, make all decisions together. We never trip. Like
and
she
how is
hugs
she
my
now
wife.
with your current wife? Do they get along?
They're super good because we don't have any of that acrimony or anything going on. We've co-parented with this child since she was born basically. So it's all we know. It's all she knows. It's all the 8 year old knows.
Does your wife have any children?
She does. She has a grown child.
Oh, okay. But you guys don't have
Yeah.
any kids together.
No, no. We old now. We ain't having no more kids. No, no. I would never do it
Yeah.
again. I hate being a parent now. I honestly do. I'll be honest with you. I hate being a parent now. I used to love it. It was my journey. It was what my mom was murdered when I
No, you
was
hate being
3
a
years
parent to
old.
your older kids now because
Yeah.
it's
It
not
may it bleeds into the
a
other one.
normal
It makes it
situation.
makes it makes I have fatigue from them when I deal with the other one. Like I'm like, man, like my energy, my wanting to do stuff, my just
So
being
if you
happy to.
so if you could have it your way, what would that look like?
As far as what
As far as your kids,
I would, I would,
we're not gonna talk
dude.
about your ex-wife.
How old are you? How old are you,
I'm old enough.
brother? Look,
You
I'm
older
44,
than him.
man.
You older than
I'm
him. Let's just
44.
say
I
that.
grew up watching the Huxtables. I would love to be the
So
grandparent that they
Yeah.
doing a dance. They doing a dance for my anniversary and my birthday. I don't get no
mm,
calls on nothing. I just want to be a granddad and a parent. That's all I want. And I want
So
my
so
older children to be good people.
so at this point, would it be safe to say that you whatever happened with you and your kids, it is what it is, but you will want to have a relationship with your grandbabies.
I do want to have a relationship with my grandbabies. They don't have nothing to do with it. They don't even, their mind can't even wrap it around it. Like they've seen me and their grandma, my ex, like, and they can't even wrap it around. They're like, that's my mommy's mom, and you're my mommy's dad, and you guys were to get. We never even seen you guys speak before. It's like, yeah, obviously. So no,
Yeah,
I would
that's
like those
tough because
kids.
that's like a second generation of parental alienation. That like
Oh, for
that's
sure, for sure.
sad.
She's cursed me out in front of
Listen,
them,
they gave me back that
all
son.
kind of stuff. Right now, I'm not able to see him. I'm not able to talk to him. The oldest won't let me talk to him or anything. It's like she has the same tactics as her mom.
And
But
Um,
I guess at, at some point, right? Because kids that don't ever really grow up still remain kids. We know that there are some childish ass adults, right?
yes,
sure.
I think my oldest will be 60 on the same shit.
So with that being said, you have to treat them as such. Like, and
Yeah.
so once any person reaches a certain age, yes, that's the baby that you wiped and changed and fed and sung lullabies to. But are you gonna protect you and your small child that you have, or are you gonna allow them to keep putting you guys in this realm of evil, mean, dark things?
Mm-mm.
So you have a decision to make. Like, you already
Oh,
tried
I
to
made it.
give
I
them.
made it already.
It's past
Kendrick,
that stage.
my
Yeah,
my
because
favorite artist. My favorite artist is Kendrick Lamar. He got a song and it's called "I Choose Me." And you got to choose you. I choose me. I choose my sanity. I choose my wife's sanity. I don't get divorced again. I want my 8 year old to be a good person and not carry the
But
trauma
you
that's been
gotta
passed to
just not
her.
say that and really live by it. And
Yeah,
so
for sure, for sure.
And that's
It's
easier
hard, you know.
said than
It,
done.
yeah, it's hard. You know, you miss your. I miss my oldest kid. I miss her. You know, I miss my son. Even it's just ugly. Yeah, you get weak because you miss him. You get weak because you miss him.
But
but
But you,
you grieving
some
kids, they adults now. Like
yeah.
you're grieving what like it's a loss. It's you suffering a loss because for one, your parental rights are stripped from you. You was blindsided. But the eldest daughter at 16, she could be manipulated, right? Because that's still
hmm
a kid. Her brain wasn't grown enough to not do that.
No,
But
I
once you
don't. I
reach a
don't.
certain age, you should be able to understand, hey dad, I was wrong. I
Right.
shouldn't have did that. If that's never happened and this woman is still carrying on, sending your son, calling commands for your son to come fight. Like this is just at that point you have to draw the line. You got to set the boundary.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
cause
That's why
This
I'm
is
tapped out.
toxic and abuse.
yeah,
Like it's not nothing happy about this.
cause what's to say when your daughter turn 16, 18, they won't try to fight her.
Or
Yeah.
better yet, even if she builds a bond with them,
And
once she
start
reaches
feeling
a
like
certain
them.
age, she can be alienated too. Because if she
Yeah.
gets close with her siblings and they have a goal to make her feel the same way they do and project their feelings onto her, then you got a whole nother problem from an innocent kid that had nothing to do with that, and you back in the
she
same
she
frame.
she feels it. It's really wild how kids will protect themselves, and because she's a very gregarious, outwardly extroverted girl, right? Talking, speaking, smiling all the time. And when she would go to get-togethers around them, she just like, I know not to talk to them. This is my brother I'm looking up at, and I know not to talk to him. I I just won't. I'm gonna
It's
protect
just
myself.
it's
Yeah,
just
That's
a
sad.
recipe for disaster.
That's
Like
sad,
Oh, for
bro.
sure, for sure. I think I worry about her, but I just don't. I haven't told her nothing about it. I haven't told her nothing. Like I wait for her at times to be like, well, "Where's Deja?" That's her oldest sister. Where's Harlem? That's her niece, her niece. And like she'd asked about him a while ago, and I didn't know what to say because I don't, I'm not ready to tell her like, oh well, your sister's mad at me, or me and your sister are beefing, or she's not even,
she
I'm not
couldn't
ready to kill Santa
understand.
yet. Yeah, I'm not ready to kill Santa yet. I'm not ready for all that. So um, eventually I will have to
It's
kill Santa,
sad
but
that
it's just what it is.
you normally don't see the kids be mean to the other kid like that. They'll still accept that kid. They might not be as close, but
Well,
to be doing what they doing at that big age to an 8 year old is like insane to me.
yeah, yeah, it's bad people
That's
fuel.
because
That's what I call
the,
it.
the mom's feelings is projected onto them, and they
Yeah.
taking on the mother's
hmm
feelings about how
hmm
they feel.
They've been in it way too long.
Mm.
Too
Way
long.
too
Yeah,
long.
they can't even. You know what? I call them a cult. I tell them like, y'all in that cult over there, and I stick by it because a cult is the only way you can outwardly look and see like this ain't the hell Bob comment not coming to get us, but you still put them Nikes
But
on and wake up and and cover yourself up. It don't make no sense.
if we could give you any piece of advice, right, and not legal advice, because it's far past that point. You did all the legal ramifications that you could have had in place
Yeah,
to make it possible to be a dad, and that still didn't work out for you. Um, because I'm gonna ask you after I'm done why. No, let me ask you first. Why did you reach out to us? What made you want to come on the platform and tell your story?
I just the parent alienation is so bad, and just the way that just I mean, I just don't know a lot of men that do it. The way that I just see women just do this to people and destroy these kids. Like, okay, you destroyed me, but you want to destroy them, and then they turn around and destroy their kids, and they kids they turn around and
Yeah,
destroy their kids. You
they
could
do.
one sorry person can make 35, 100 sorry people.
Yep.
Like that's why. And I just want to get out and maybe if a younger brother stop looking or watching this, I'm gonna tell him, bro, bro, I don't know what you should do. Maybe you stay and don't leave
Nah,
because
we
I don't
don't
know,
preach
bro.
that.
I
And okay,
don't
so
know what to
that's
tell you.
exactly right
I
there
don't know
because this
what
is
to
what I
tell
was
you.
about to say. This is what I was about to say.
That's
But
bad
them
advice,
kids
man.
leave
And it's
you.
and
Them
it's
kids leave you, bro. I'm telling you, and they'll you'll see later, and they'll be just ruined, and you just be looking up, and time is so valuable, you cannot rewind
I mean,
time. It-
as what you're going through, and I see the pain, and I understand you speaking from a place of hurt. You're speaking from a dark place because we understand what commercial alienation can do. So I know what you're trying to say in terms of just basically the whole culture of the it's cheaper to keep her, just go along with it. But the reality in that stance is you're it's entrapment, it's enslavement. It's
yeah.
not really a good benefit for the person that you would give that advice to or the kids because
Well, I don't necessarily mean, I don't
ultimately,
know what to do. I wouldn't know what
wait,
to do,
let me
honestly.
finish. Ultimately, whoever it is that you are bowing down to or giving them their way, they can switch up on you at any time.
For sure.
So that's
Definitely.
not a sense of security to think I'm just gonna stay and live a miserable life and then crash out and wake
I
up in
think
prison. Like
I think honestly the best advice
no,
is you gotta like start from the root. If you like that woman, like you gotta take hold of them red flags. You gotta look at them. You gotta recognize them, and you need to react to them because they will only grow, and she will only, it will bite you on the end. That's what I look at mostly in my life is decisions I made that come back to bite you, and they grow and they grow, and before you know it, they're a whole human in your front
and you
yard
you
fighting
talking
you.
about being
So
proactive, but the reality is most of the time this is a space of when people have to be reactive, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
kids
yeah.
are already here, the red flags can pass, everybody already in this
Right.
arena. So unless you're gonna be teaching or preaching to high school kids who haven't even thought about having unprotected sex, and everybody's gonna
Right.
do it the traditional way of getting married. And we talk to people who've done it that way too.
And still
That's
got
no
Hmm.
pregnant, man.
guarantee that it's gonna work out perfectly. You dealt these cards, and this is a game and a hand you have to play. And so nobody thinks that they'll ever be in this position. It's nothing that he could have did better in terms of once you got with this person and it happened, it's gonna happen. Same with you, same with me, same with all other parents who have a toxic ex in a situation where kids were brought in something that was just nasty. It's
Right.
no way people
Right.
can really predict how bad it can get. And so to be on the reactive side, yes, once it's happening, then yes, you should wake up and
Yeah.
no stay, no leave. Do the things you need to do because all it does is just keep a cycle, a vicious
It'll
cycle
create
going.
more trauma.
And it goes on and on and on. Now it's trickling down to your grandkids. Now your kids is fighting you because they big enough to swing. Like it should have
Yeah.
been nipped in the bud a long time ago. And it wasn't. And okay, that's fine. But today, you should not have this victimization attitude about it. Like you have to do better for you and the kid that's not a part of that chaos.
Yeah.
It's
It,
not
Yeah.
fair, and your wife.
just like I tell my kids, man, my job is to make sure you walk across that stage. Anything after that, I'm here for you, but I don't have to do it. I don't have to
Right.
do it at that point.
No,
You,
I feel
but what I'm saying for you is you wasn't alienated because I mean she tried to strip you from your rights, but your kids was still coming around. So you got alienated because she got your kids' mind.
Yeah.
oh for
So
sure. For
so
sure.
for you, it's you was always there. You know what I'm saying? You raised your
I was.
kids.
They never went like, I said that to my 18-year-old, like, what is your deal, dude? Like, I was here the whole time. I raised you since I was 16. You went off to college, I done got your man
It
a
don't
job.
matter.
I do everything.
It's
But
no
it don't matter
respect.
to her.
It's
It don't
no
matter.
respect.
Yeah,
It's
it
no
don't matter.
respect.
Yeah, she already didn't she done got her mind, and until they deal with that trauma as adults, just like how you have to deal with it, she have to deal with her traumas. I have to deal with my traumas. They have to deal with their traumas because guess what? They probably was hurt that daddy left, but daddy was always there. And until they
Yeah.
realize that, it's no point of you having your daughter, your wife, and whoever else have to go through whatever it is that they not healed from, because that is so totally dysfunctional for you to show up to your grandbaby birthday party and nobody speaking to y'all.
At this
Bro,
point,
it's wild. But yeah,
at this
I'm done
point, you
with
got to
it.
be okay with being a villain in their story. Okay,
Oh yeah, yeah. You're a
we're
villain, and
it.
you.
We done
Everybody's a
with it.
villain in
But you
It is
somebody's
you
what it
say
story.
is.
that you say that, but you have your history having showed you don't want to be that villain.
No, no, you're right. You know, that's something that I've struggled with is like worrying about them hating me and thinking I'm a bad dad and all that stuff. But I gotta get free of it. You can't worry about it no
There's
more.
nothing
You
you
know,
can
because
do
you're
about
not
that.
gonna never change what they think. You're never gonna change what they think, no matter how much. I went through last, or when I got back talking to them like 2 years ago, like when that picture happened, right? I went through a year where I said I'm not gonna say no to them. I'm not gonna say no to them. I'm just gonna be like, this is a year of no nos. Whatever they ask me to do, go take them to get the nails done.
How
This,
did that
that,
work out?
whatever. Look where I'm at now. Look
Exactly.
where I'm at
So
now. So it's just
Like man,
if anything,
you paid child support, you was there, help raising. What more could you have done?
I fought the good fight, bro. I fought the good fight. So I'm right now. I have a semblance of peace, and I know down the road I'll have moments where because I miss my grandkids now. I miss them right now. But it's shit. I miss my daughter right now. I miss my kids
I
right now.
mean,
But
to this point, the only thing
there's
is left for you to do is to say, if we got to go talk to somebody. If nobody's willing to do that as adults, it's nothing else you can do at this point.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
And you need
You
to
know,
start
okay.
your you need to start your healing process.
Oh, totally. I'm on it. I'm in my counseling. I've like I told you, me and my wife have talked, and I'm not gonna never subject her to that shit no more. Not gonna subject my 8 year old to that no more. And that's that. I don't care what kind of birthday party or this or that. I just missed the 18-year-old walking the stage. My last one with her walking the stage because it was just a month after fighting with her brother, my son, and also you only get a certain amount of tickets, 5 or 6 tickets, and I wasn't in that top five, top
yeah,
six.
that means she didn't want you to be there.
Yeah, I wasn't in that top. I wasn't in the. I wasn't. So it's just what it is. It's just what it is.
If these kids were younger, we would have a different disposition, right? But it's
No,
just
they grown.
this
They
is
grown.
this is the real hardcore, nasty,
Yes,
raw
for sure.
Yeah, that's also why I wanted to share my
raw
stuff.
result of parental alienation.
Yes.
Yeah, you. This is the ending result of it.
And believe it or not,
Yeah.
your story is gonna help somebody. Your
Hopefully, man.
your your story is gonna reach many people
Maybe
to
it'll give
want
someone a
to
drive
stop
to,
now before it
yeah,
gets to where
or give him the
you
drive to go
are.
back to class. I've helped people. I have a buddy who him and his girlfriend divorced last year, or wife divorced last year, year before, and he was really terrified of not seeing the children, and she kind of was starting to trip a little bit. But I schooled him on it. I got the papers from him. We walked through the papers on the. And now he's got 50 custody with his daughters. That's one thing that I'd love to impart to anyone watching too. Is like if you're gonna break up with this girl, you're not gonna be with your woman or your wife. You're gonna lose a lot of time with your kids, and you just gotta be okay with that.
Yeah.
50% is not a lot of time,
But
because then
I tell people this too. Do you rather spend a weekend with your kids happy, or do you want them to see you 7 days a week fighting,
right, because they figure it
Or
out,
don't see you
you
at
know.
all.
or don't see you at
Yeah,
all? You're right.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
You gotta take you gotta pick your poison with
we
this.
forgot to ask you this question in the beginning because of the whole driving scene. But
my bad, man.
who's
Who's a
the deadbeat?
deadbeat?
Not me, not me.
If you had to do it again, what could have done different? What do you think you would have done differently?
Look, like I say dark stuff sometimes, but I only can be honest. I would have not had them older kids. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. Maybe that's me in the hurt how I feel now. They ruined my life, complicated my life, messed my mental up, everything.
Well,
Like, and then I have nothing to
you
show
can't
for
put
it.
it on
Can't
them.
blame them because
They,
they was
they, they,
alienated
they
kids.
had challenged the war, and you got to understand. You said it earlier. They don't even have the best relationship with her, and that's the thing that you
No,
got to
no,
understand. Once you can't control her no more, she don't have no use for him no more either. But that don't mean that
no,
they
no.
still don't have all the bad habits that she didn't taught them over the years.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
You
You know,
know, two
I
two two things can be very true at the same time. You can
yeah,
still love your kids and give them grace due to the situation, and you can also still not fuck with them.
bro, that's what I'm
Okay,
at.
so
Like I said, I give the one
understand
grace when
that.
she was 16, but I can't give you no grace what you did like 2 months ago and what you done in between. It's
No,
so
that's
much stuff
not
I
what I'm
could,
talking about. I'm talking
yeah,
simply because you said you wouldn't have had them. But a lot of this stuff
yeah,
is just not their fault. Now, once they reached adulthood and they're carrying on, it's still a result of the parental alienation. It's still a result of the trauma.
Parental
So,
alienation is a lifelong battle.
right. So, what I'm
yeah, for sure.
telling you is if you really done and through, that's completely understandable. Like we gave you some similar advice because
Yeah, yeah.
they're adults, so to speak. But when you say things like "I just wish I never had," you got to think about those babies that you was making bottles for and wiping their ass. They didn't ask you to have them. It's that
No,
part. That part is just say something along the lines. You just wish you never had them with her because it probably would have been
yeah,
a different outcome. Okay, and that's
yeah.
my takeaway.
Yeah, man.
I take that, sister. I take that.
We appreciate you from sharing your story, man. And
Thank you for being patient too, man.
yeah, you
We
nailed it.
wanted to hear
Yeah.
you out, and we glad that we did because
You
I'm
got a
not trying
story,
to
didn't
cut
you?
you out.
No,
You got a
you
story, didn't
nailed it
you?
from a different angle that people need to hear. People always
Yeah,
think, like I said earlier, that parental alienation is just keeping you from the father, which she
it's
did do
so
that,
many
but she
things.
also
It's levels to this.
damaged the mindset. You was a targeted parent. She changed your kid's mindset to dislike you.
And it worked. And even with
Oh,
all the
definitely.
reconnecting and disconnecting, that's just showing you that in this space you gotta get help. You have to get professional help. It's not something that you could combat on your own because nobody even understands what's happening to them psychologically. It's
Hmm.
damage in your
Hmm.
brain. So
They don't know that they alienating
right. They don't
kids.
even understand it. And so
Nah, nah, that no. It's like that's. I mean, I know it might sound harsh to some people why I say they in a cult because in a cult you don't even know. You don't even know you in a cult. You don't even
it
know the
don't
weird
matter.
stuff.
That's a great
You don't even
analogy for
know.
parental
Yeah.
alienation.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I say it as you looking outwardly and seeing that this can't be true, but you gonna believe it because someone told you it. And that someone is someone you cannot think is lying. I can't. They no, So
Either
yeah,
way, I'm gonna say it again before we end this and land this plane. We've landed. We've landed. We sitting on the runway like how you was doing us earlier. That's all we're doing right now. We just stopped. But you got to be okay with being the villain in this story. That's the only way
for
you're gonna
sure,
have peace and peace of mind. That's it.
sister. That is really super good advice. Honestly, super
Yeah,
good
because
advice.
your kids grown. You
Yeah,
don't have to be going through the stuff you going
Nobody
through.
should accept mistreatment and abuse just to have a relationship with anybody. I don't
right,
Exactly.
care if
right,
it's parent and child, spouse, friendship, like no,
right.
that's your mental health is what's most important. And you're still a father to another
Right.
innocent child. She
Exactly.
needs you too.
Yeah,
So
Exactly.
your wife,
yeah.
like, come on now. And a lot of people don't understand why men do say fuck them kids. But this is a clear cut story that it made
Sister,
Brenda
I
go,
know I'm gonna
look.
let y'all go, sister. But if you don't know how many times people told me that in the beginning of it, and I would like go crazy on them, like I could never say that, I could never be like that, never, never, no, no, no. And then now I'm like, man, fuck them kids, yo, because they not kids. So fuck
They
them
not
kids, yo.
kids.
We're
So
gonna
Nah.
end it on
So
that note.
thank you
all
so
right.
We
much.
appreciate you, man.
Reach
Thank
back
you guys
out.
too
We
much. Thank
always
you
got
so
the
much.
space.
Yeah,
We
Thank you
man.
so
come
much. I
back to it.
always follow y'all.
I
Thank you
appreciate
Appreciate
so
you.
it.
much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Man, it's been a wild Monday.
Monday Madness.
Hey,
Monday
Jay, he gonna be
Madness.
the only person that do that. So that's gonna be a new rule. When you get on this live, make sure y'all have y'all camera ready. No driving in no cars. Y'all know how it go.
You've been warned.
All right, but back to this story though. It was a wild one though. It's a wild Monday. Man, I just pray for him and his family, man, because that's a tough one. Yo, your daughter jumping your baby mama, and then your son coming over there to fight you, and
You know, in this life, in any life, it's always some things that you just can't come back from. That look different for everybody, right? Some people will accept it until they can't accept it no more. Some people are clear cut on their boundaries where, but you really do have to teach people how to treat you. And that doesn't, children aren't exempt. Like that applies to your kids as well, especially if they, are coming into adulthood. You gotta,
sure.
especially if you was a good parent. Like
Yeah.
we would never promote abuse or accept any abuse. Just like some people grow up and they cut ties with their parents because of toxicity, you can cut ties with your kids because of toxicity too.
Well,
So
one thing I will say, I pray to God none of my sons try me. Cause boy, I'm finna go to the gym tomorrow.
I pray to God don't let these kids try me either.
But on that note, we love y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the page, and get them subs up for us, man.
Until next time.
See ya. Who's the deadbeat?